Today I'm going to show you how to install the Ionic factory style running boards on this 2019 new body style Ram 1500. Let's go ahead and get started. So now we are underneath the truck on our driver's side, and this is going to be our first set of studs. We're right by our front tire. Now we have our truck up on a lift. You certainly don't need a lift to do this installation, but we wanted to make sure you could see everything that we're doing. So the first thing that you need to do is, if you haven't had running boards on your truck before, these studs are actually going to be painted whatever color your truck is. Ours in this instance is red. You can see the tip is still red. We've already gone ahead and cleaned ours off, but you will need to do that before you start your installation. I would recommend a die out of a tap and die set, and that's going to be an M8 by 1.25. Once you've cleaned those off, you want to take one of your serrated flange nuts that come in the kit and just thread those on to each stud. Make sure they thread on nice and easily, and then you can start your installation. Now our first bracket on our driver's side is going to be L-shaped. It's going to have two tabs coming off of it. We want to make sure those tabs are facing towards the center of the truck. On one of them you're going to have two holes of similar sizes. That's going to be where our bracket is going to attach to our truck. On the other side there's going to be two different size holes. That is where our board is going to attach to our bracket. So we can set our bracket over our studs. Of the three here, we're going to use the two on our left side that are lined up almost right on top of each other. And then in your kit, you're going to get flat washers to go over the studs, and then serrated flange nuts. We're just going to leave these loose for right now. We're going to snug them up a little bit, but not fully tighten them down, because we still want to have a little bit of adjustment in this bracket until we get our board on. So now our center bracket is going to look a little bit different. It's still going to have that L shape, but the part that's actually going to attach to our truck is going to be more triangular, and it's going to fit over our right stud and our center stud at the top. Again, we're going to use flat washers on each of those studs, and then a serrated flange nut. And just leaving those hand tight for right now. Now if we follow our rocker panel down to our last set of studs, it's going to be right by our rear tire. It's going to look exactly the same as our first set of studs. Our bracket, however, is going to be the opposite. Our tabs now are going to face towards the center, and then we're going to fit that right over our studs with our washers and our serrated flange nuts. Again, just leaving those loose at this time. Now we're ready to grab one of our boards. They're going to be exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about which one you grab. And then we're going to flip it over. And on the underside, you're going to see a couple of channels right here and here. Your kit is going to come with some bolts to go in those channels. We're going to do 3 in each of those. And then when we put our board on our truck, these are going to drop down into the holes in our brackets. So once you have all those in, I'm just going to slide them all towards the middle of the board. Now we're going to take our center channel bolts and line those up with our center bracket. And then we can lift our board up and drop those bolts right into place like that. Now we're going to take our front set, run those to our front bracket, our rear set of bolts, run those to our rear bracket, and do exactly the same thing. Now with all of our channel bolts in place, we're going to then attach our serrated flange nuts to each of those. And we're just going to loosely thread those on. We're not going to fully tighten those down just yet. Now we're at our last bracket. And again, we're just going to thread on our serrated flange nuts, leave those loose at this time. And now we can see that we can move our board from side to side. We can also move it out or in. So the first adjustment that we're going to make is side to side. You want to go out front, align it to the doors on the truck, and then you also want to align it in and out. So you can push it as far out away from the truck if you want more of a step area, or if you want the more high and tight look, you can push it all the way in. We're actually going to go all the way in, and then once you have it adjusted where you want it, we're going to go back and tighten our board to our brackets. Now that we have our board adjusted the way that we want it, we're going to go back through and tighten up all 6 of our channel bolts. That's going to be a 13 millimeter. And we don't want to go super tight on these, we're just going to snug them up. Now with our board fully tightened to our brackets, we're going to go back and tighten our brackets to our truck. Now these nuts are going to be a 13 millimeter as well, and we don't want to go super tight on them, we just want to snug them up. We don't want to damage these studs at all. Now with all of our bolts fully tightened, that's going to complete the driver's side. Your passenger side is going to install exactly the same way, so just go ahead and repeat all those steps on the other side. That's going to complete the installation. If you have any questions, give us a call or visit us online.